The acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse seems more like a rotten house to me. Let me explain why. So recently, the Georgia GOP Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, she actually has been sponsoring a House bill to give Kyle Rittenhouse a Congressional Gold Medal. Congressional Gold Medal, for slaying 2 men and seriously injuring a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, mind you, that's not her rationale. She kind of dresses it up as giving him or awarding him with this congressional medal for protecting the community. But the last time I checked, that's what the police force's job is for. They are trained and hired to protect and serve the community. It is not up to adolescents who have access to loaded guns and rifles to be out in the streets firing their weapons at people. So just to kind of catch some of you up who may not be aware, Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenage kid from Wisconsin, was recently acquitted on all charges of the shooting and killing of 2 men and seriously injuring a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year during the protests of the shooting of Jacob Blake by the police officers. So this was during the protests at that time. So Rittenhouse claims that he was firing his weapon at other citizens out of self-defense. So my concern right now, not just the fact that he was acquitted of actually slaying 2 people and seriously injuring a third. That's just not 1 life, but that's 2 lives that were lost. Families that are seriously grieving, whether that's mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandparents, uncles, aunts, children, for the loss of their family member at the hands of this reckless young man in the streets of Kenosha, in the name of him claiming to be in self-defense, while the Congresswoman says that he was protecting the community. Now, she's not the only one who supports the acquittal of Rittenhouse, but also former President Trump, who wants to make America great again, also is happy about the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse. After his meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago post-acquittal, Trump did say that he felt that the trial of this young man was prosecutorial misconduct and that Rittenhouse should have never been put through all of that. But my understanding is that he wanted to have this trial. They prepped him pretty well. It was some bad acting where the fake tears were concerned, but the end result was he became acquitted of those charges of attempted homicide, reckless endangerment, and wounding a third man in Kenosha. So why is this so rotten to me? Well, for a few reasons. Let's talk about this particular House bill that this Congresswoman is supporting, in order to give Kyle this gold medal. So this Congressional Gold Medal is actually a medal that's given as an expression of national appreciation. Not just national appreciation, but it's a very high honor. There are a few people who have received this honor in the past. So just to give you an idea of the type of people who have received this type of honor, so you can understand why I think them suggesting or sponsoring a House bill to award this guy with this kid really with this gold medal is just preposterous and it's ludicrous. This is crazy. That's why I say this is really a rotten house. So the people who have received the Congressional Gold Medal in the past include Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Winston Churchill, Colin Powell, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul II. So, and there's 100 or so more that have received this medal as well. When you think about these people who who have been civil activists or who have changed things on a global level, not just for their area, but for humanity as a whole in a positive direction, in a positive light. I just can't see why they think this young man should receive a Congressional Gold Medal. Because this medal, like I said, is the highest expression of national appreciation for some type of achievement that you've had. And protecting your community, that's not what was done. That is the police's job, to protect the community. That was not this young person's job, to be out in the streets with his rifle. That was not his job. And here's the other thing that makes this Rittenhouse acquittal so much of a rotten house in my perspective. So since he has been acquitted, and like I said, he had a chance to go visit with Trump, and Trump, gave him the thumbs up, for a job well done making America great again by shooting down your fellow man and getting acquitted for it. The other thing that makes this such a rotten thing, to me, is that right now they're labeling Rittenhouse as this red hot star, for the right wing, collaborate with or to interview, to get to know, and to put him on a track to, push their agenda. Well, since his acquittal and him being labeled as being in high demand, there's been lots of talks and people with little buzzwords about him having a possible lucrative book deal coming. He can charge appearance fees. He can do podcasts, possible internship offerings coming his way, along, of course, with some civil lawsuits. Let's make sure we throw that in there. But they've been saying that he can monetize his brand and potentially make millions. I have to say that again. They have been saying, these little buzzwords flying around, that he can monetize his brand and potentially make millions. Now, to me, that's rotten. What is your brand? This is so insane to me. What is your brand? Is your brand Trump's brand, making America great again? Is that the brand? Is your brand community protection, community activism? Is that your brand? I don't think so. I don't think that's the brand. The only thing that I can see as the brand is this young person being acquitted of shooting and killing 2 people and seriously injuring a 3rd. That's all that I can see. All that I can see is attempted homicide and reckless endangerment. Is that the brand? Because what this brand leads to is more lawlessness. It leads to mayhem in the streets. Because think about it. If I'm a young person and I committed a crime, and if I have any sense of spirit or soul or remorse within myself, I will be troubled by this. Like, I would be really troubled that I've actually taken a life. But what they're doing here is not even giving him the opportunity to feel the remorse. Because I saw the fake tears. They weren't even tears. I saw the facial expressions during the trial. That was just all stage, all fake. He had no tears. So, if you are someone that has no remorse, and then you're not even given the opportunity to get in touch with that side of yourself, but instead you're being told, hey, you can market and monetize your brand. What? And potentially make millions for having been acquitted of shooting and killing 2 people and seriously injuring a 3rd. That's really what it's saying. That I can be out in the streets with my rifle and pretending to protect and serve, which is not what I'm hired to do. I'm not an actual civil employee. I mean, a city employee, a civil servant. That's not my role. I'm just out here thinking that I'm protecting somebody who never even asked for your protection with this gun. And then you shoot 2 people, they die, you seriously injure a 3rd, you go to trial and you get off and they say now you can actually stand to make millions. They've already raised $2 million for his bail fund. So he's had lots of support. And I'm not saying that a young person should not have support when they're facing something as detrimental and as serious as this. However, what are we promoting is what my question. What are we promoting? Because this to me is a rotten house. And a rotten house will burn and crumble. And the reason I say that is because on the other side of the coin, just in one state over, so all this is in Wisconsin, so just here in Illinois, in the next state over, the mayor of Chicago is requesting from the federal government, just the other day, she's calling for more gun control in response to the rising gun violence. She is appealing to the federal court to say, hey, we need help because cities and states just cannot do this on their own to stop the gun violence. She just said that the day after Rittenhouse's acquittal. Now, mind you, that might be another state, but it's just a state right over from that. So what are we really promoting? What are we really trying to accomplish here as a nation? Are we creating one story for one group of people and another story for yet another group of people? Everybody's getting told a different story. And the problem, what makes this so rotten, is that this young man may very well think that it's okay to shoot and kill an innocent person. But let me tell you why a rotten house will crumble and fall. Because with all this chaos and mayhem that they're stirring, all this energy that they're stirring to create a society of lawlessness, to create a society where they want to defund the police, to create a society where there's lots of anarchy all around, what that eventually does is it comes back and it bites you in the tail. In the Old Testament, it was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Is that the direction that we're going in? Because if you're saying young people like this young man can go on the streets with their rifles and just blast off with complete immunity and get full acquittal, even if they kill someone or if they don't, then you're going to have many more like him popping up thinking they can do the same thing. But the problem is you're going to have some other families who may be, victims of this type of thinking and who may be at risk of losing a loved one, and they're not going to tolerate this foolishness. What's going to happen is they're going to take matters into their own hands, and it's going to be street justice. They're not going to be going to the courts asking the judge and the jury and the attorneys to, battle it out or figure it out or ping pong this whole trial back. They're not going to do that. They're going to take justice into their own hands. So I'm curious to know if this is what society wants. Please listen to the video that I made about Facebook now is called Meta, and what I discussed regarding the virtual world that they want to create. And one part that I really want to drive home is that if this current world that we're living in becomes a dystopia and just a rotten, burnt down house of reality, because so many people, one, so much lawlessness, and two, people are being pulled into that virtual world, then what are we going to have? What are we going to have? This real world is going to be a world of mayhem, a world of chaos, a world with no order. And I really think that that's the direction that they want to go in. I really do think that. And hey, I've been wrong before, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment and let me know what you think, because this is not adding up. More gun control, but yet we're allowing people, young people, to get fully acquitted and cleared of all charges of attempted homicide and reckless endangerment. There's something really rotten about that. Very, very rotten. And not only do we give them this praise for these violent crimes, but also tell them you can monetize your brand and potentially make millions. What kind of message are we sending to the young people? This is crazy. This is really a rotten house. It's a rotten house. To even consider giving someone an award of this caliber, a Congressional Gold Medal of Honor? What? These people are nuts and they're off their rocker. And I said it and I meant it. So again, check out my next video about Facebook now being Meta, and just listen to that and just kind of review some things that I share with you in this particular video. Leave a comment, definitely subscribe, definitely share this video. Let me know what you think. Please share with other people. Really discuss this, because the world is changing and we need to figure out what is going on before it all just crumbles and burns. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Joanna J today, bringing you information as it comes to me and putting my little 2 cents on it. Thank you so much. See you again.